adjusting my phone. Okay, awesome. So if you can hear me right now, accept the drill. You have to tell me if I'm audible or not. Otherwise, I'll have to check it myself. And obviously, that might take some time. So I have a notification. Okay, no. So, guys, today we are going to discuss a very important topic. You may say that this is a more advanced topic which we are discussing, but it is quite relevant for me because we okay, awesome. We are loud and clear. So, if you can hear me, and obviously, if you like what we are doing, so give a thumbs up. Guys, I have made myself a personal commitment that I'm going to be coming live every single day, Monday to Saturday at 9 p.m. for a very simple reason. I'm running my business, which happens in the morning time. I mean, obviously the morning time, and I want to make sure that the education, tech education, since I'm part of tech, so I believe tech education should reach out to almost everyone, every part of the nation. I'm not saying that I should be the only individual doing this, but I'm expecting a lot of people to be do that. I mean, doing that. A lot of people are doing that. I'm doing my bits and pieces what I can do. So I have made myself a personal commitment that I will be live at 9 p.m. daily from Monday to Saturday, so that I can answer all your queries which you have. Usually, what happens, a YouTuber uploads a video and people say, people have question, they type in the comment and they don't receive a response. So they are kind of worried. Okay, what will happen? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? I'm worried about it. So they take wrong advices if I talk about. So the whole idea here with this particular channel at 9 p.m. is to actually me sharing something related to a topic which I feel like I should be sharing. And secondly, if you have any questions, you will be posting those questions and you will be getting a response right away. So what's the worst which is going to happen? You just have to attend this live session for maybe 15, 16 minutes. That's it. And whatever questions related to your tech career is going to be clear. So today we are going to discuss on a very important topic, which is industry experience relevant? Does industry experience actually matter? If I'm part of an industry and I want to switch industry, what should I be doing? Some industries have huge growth potential. Some industries never see layoff. I'm talking about IT, and in IT, the various industry I'm talking about. I'm not talking about various different industries. Okay. So this is what we are going to discuss about today, because today we were working with one of our client. We are working in a I have a recruitment firm. So we were working. We are working with a client, and they specifically mentioned that we are looking for people who are from this particular domain. Now, when I reached them out and I asked them what is the reason you are doing that, so they said, since the product or the services which we are making have a big requirement of this particular domain, so that is why we need someone who has expertise of this particular domain, so that we can help them out. We can make a better product or service. And obviously they are paying awesome handsome amount of salary if I talk about. So I wanted to discuss this thing, especially because what happens, a lot of time people assume that if I'll be jumping into multiple industries, I will learn a lot of things, which is actually true. But the question is, if you stick to a single industry, how you're going to decide what industry you should be sticking to? And if you don't have this awesome industry, what is the disadvantage, or what can we do for you? So first of all, let's learn about why industry experience matters. I'll give you an example here. Let's say you started your career journey with banking industry. Okay, you started your journey in a banking industry. Now, what is happening? Banking is about financial transactions. So transactions are happening online, transactions are happening through internet, transactions are happening through point of sale system, transactions are happening through phone pay, Google Pay, or UPI apps. So you understand what kind of a data is coming in, what kind of a data goes out, how fraud is happening. So you're learning about the industry because you are part of this product development. So everyone around your team, everyone in your team will be discussing the jargons of the industry. So they will be saying, okay, there was a fraudulent transaction. Okay, we had 15 million fraudulent transactions last month. So you're learning about the industry. Now, what is happening now? Since you're learning about the industry, your brain is developing how you can build how you can build solutions towards that. Your brain is building and it is thinking how you can build solution towards that, because if you're working in banking industry, you are not going to think about how education industry can be disrupted, because you're working in the banking industry. If you're working in the healthcare industry, you're thinking about how to store the data of the user, how to safeguard the data of the user, how to make sure that the data is encrypted while in transactions. So this is something which is happening in the back of your mind. Now, what happens when you have a relevant experience of an industry? Companies actually love your profile. Why do they love that? Because they know that you know how to actually deal with this industry. I'll give you a second example. Let's talk about the banking industry. So the banking industry goes at a normal rate in the normal time, but when it's a festive season, especially in India, it goes crazy. Everyone is shopping, be it Eid, be it Diwali, be it Christmas, be it anything. If it's a big festival in India, everyone is crazy about shopping. So what happens? The transactions which are happening, the people have to manage that. Now, if I'm going to pick someone who is from the healthcare industry to the finance industry, I'm going to get affected because this person does not know how banking industry works during a festive season. So, in order to prevent this kind of a chaos, companies say, if I'm working in this domain, I need people from this domain only. So as an individual or as a student, if I talk about, if you feel like that you want to actually grow your career at a very good pace, sticking to an industry is going to be by far the most important advice you should be taking from this live session. For a very simple reason, if you're going to stick to a single industry, you will learn a lot about that industry and you can actually learn a lot horizontally you can learn a lot vertically compared to horizontally. Now, when you're learning vertically, your knowledge is growing day by day. Now it is going exponential because when you learn something in a single domain, your knowledge actually grows exponentially. When you're learning something in the multiple domains, your knowledge grows in the linear fashion, if I talk about. Again, I'm not sure how to explain this, but yes, this is how it happens. So, to give you an example about this, I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say if you're a frequent traveler, you frequently make an international travel. So when you're going to go to an immigration officer, you're not going to get worried. But when someone who is new is going to get worried, maybe they will reject my visa because they have no experience of standing in front of an immigration officer. So ultimately, to conclude what I'm trying to discuss, stick to a single industry, because if you're going to stick to a single industry, it is going to help you grow more compared to sticking to multiple industries and not sure about it. Now, secondly, Avinash, previously I was working in the education industry. Now my friend says there is a huge growth in the healthcare industry. Now I want to switch the industry. How can I do that? Well, to switch the industry, I would recommend that the switch should happen internally. It should not happen externally. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're working in a project which belongs to an education industry. So you can go to your manager and you can say, hey, I'm planning to make a career shift and I'm thinking of switching. So instead of switching into a different company, you can give me a project which is related to healthcare. Now, because if you can get the project of the healthcare within the company, first of all, you're not looking for a work right now. Secondly, the company already knows you, so they will be able to take the risk. Like they will say, okay, fine, this guy has done a very good job in the education industry, so I think we can move on with the healthcare industry for him. Secondly, you can gain some experience there, and now you can use this experience and you can say, hey, I was working in the education industry. Then I shifted my gears to the healthcare industry. I worked there for 2 years. Now I'm switching and I'm thinking of using my knowledge for this particular domain. So it is very easy if you can do that. What is hard? Hard is currently you are in education industry. Now you're thinking of switching your company and you go to a different company and you say, hey, I'm from an education industry, but now I want to go into healthcare industry. It's a red flag. The reason it is a red flag because people will assume that you are coming from education industry and now you want to get into the healthcare industry, which is quite sensitive. You don't even know things about it. So this is one way of doing it, which is internally. Secondly, what you can do, you can actually work in your current industry and you can start gaining the knowledge of the other industry. I'll take an example of healthcare, because in healthcare, one of the most important thing which we have to keep in mind is the data has to be encrypted. The data has to be kept in the local vicinity, if I talk about, and the data has to be deleted. Secondly, the data which is there, it is very sensitive, so you cannot share with it. You cannot share the healthcare data. So when you're in the education industry, you understand the data has to be encrypted, but you're not very serious about it. Or let's say you are working in an e-commerce domain where the data is of, like, let's say the personal data of every customer is secured, but like the products pages or maybe product are not secure. I mean not encrypted, I'll say. So what you can do, you can get some certification of the particular industry, like let's say healthcare industry. You can get the certification of how to secure the data in the healthcare industry. Okay, Sanjay has a question. I'll answer that. Just give me a second. So if you're going to have certifications, or I would say if you're going to learn something related to the other industry, if you start getting the certification, if you're going to make a switch, people will accept you for a very, I mean, companies will start accepting you because they will have a trust, because you are not simply making a switch, you are actually showcasing that you're serious about the switch. So these are the two ways. First, you can either internally switch the internally switch the industry within the company, or you can learn about it, gain some knowledge about it, and then make a switch. But do not go blindly and say, hey, I'm from healthcare, now I'm from education, now I want to go to healthcare. Because if you're going to do that, that's going to affect you a lot. With effect, I also mean it may, like, people, like company may ask you, hey, we have to reduce your compensation because your industry experience is not relevant. Fine, awesome. So we have our very first question right away. And let me see, what is that question? Okay, so I believe Sanjesh, if I'm mispronouncing your name, please apologize upfront. I'm from education industry. Should I go for finance industry? Okay, this is a good question. Now, first of all, you should be asking a question, why do I want to switch my industry also? If you're from education, again, education is also a good industry. The question you should be asking, why should I switch the industry? Why do I want to switch the industry? First, if you want to switch the industry, obviously nobody is going to stop you, because that is your personal choice. But the question is, if I'm going to make a switch, can I add some value to the industry, or can I add something which other people cannot? I'll give you an example. Hey, I have completed my BCom BCom during my graduation. Now I'm working in the IT industry. I have experience in the education industry, but I feel my core expertise, since my educational experience is related to finance, I can add more values when I come in the finance industry. I hope I'm able to connect with you. I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say if I'll take my example. So I was my native language is Hindi. So what happens if I have to connect with someone, I have to use my language of Hindi because I have huge experience with that. I'm not saying the other languages. So you will feel this is the similar situation across India. So if you are from Tamil Nadu, you will be very comfortable speaking and expressing yourself in Tamil compared to English or maybe different language. So this is going to be same for me. So if I have to express myself most efficiently and the most best way, I use my I use Hindi compared to English. Okay, so Sanjesh has a very good background. He has a BCom. So Sanjesh, what I would recommend now, since you already have a BCom background, it's a very good option for you to actually make a switch, because what will happen, you can simply go to a company and during an interview, you can see I have a BCom graduation. I have completed my graduation from BCom. That means my education is related to BCom. Now I feel instead of I want to use my graduation learnings and I want to implement in my career, and I feel I can do more better in finance industry compared to education industry. So this is going to be a very good point for you. Like, you can mention this. Since you are already having a commerce background, if I talk about, it's not technically finance if I say, but yes, that can be a very beneficial thing. See guys, I'll give you a very simple example. These days companies are obviously looking for skills, but they're looking for people who have skills which can actually add value to the product or services which we are using. I'll give you my example. Let's say I have this public speaking knowledge. I have this public speaking skill set. I can come to YouTube and I can interact with people. So what companies can say? Companies can say, hey Avinash, you are an Indian. So why don't you start a YouTube channel related to India, or maybe main points of India? And this is the sole reason I started this channel, because I have the knowledge of tech, and I feel education or tech education should reach out to maximum students. No college was allowing me to actually teach them because I don't have a PhD. So I started my YouTube channel. So it is in sync with what I want to do. It's not something which is very random. I cannot be a fashion blogger. I cannot be a food blogger. I cannot be what other kind of bloggers we have. I don't know. So this is something which I want to mention. Like whatever changes you're making, whatever switches you're making, it should be happening as per your expertise, as per your comfort. With I'm not saying that it should be under your comfort zone and you're not upskilling yourself. What I'm trying to say is it should be under your control, and which you actually can give 100% compared to someone else. So Sanjesh, I think that was a very big answer, but I hope that has answered your query. First of all, if you want to switch, yes, you can switch. But if you want to switch, you should be having either make the switch first of all internally, otherwise learn from it, or maybe use your experiences or your education and use that reason to actually make a switch. So I'm open for the next question. I hope Sanjesh, your question was answered perfectly if I talk about. Guys, this live session is just for you. It's not for me. Whatever questions you have, I'm just sharing my knowledge. Whatever knowledge I have. So whatever questions you have, please throw it away. I mean, type it in the chat box and I will make sure that you get the answers. I'm thinking of actually starting a live Zoom calls also. I'm not sure if that is going to work out. Yeah, thank you, Sanjesh. So maybe like if you want, we can have a live interaction or whatever that is. But the whole idea here is to actually make sure that we are coming live. And obviously, guys, share these videos with your friends, family members, or your WhatsApp group, because just let them know that this guy, Avinash Seth from Skillnagar, comes online every day at 9 p.m. So whatever questions and answers you have related to tech, he is going to make sure that you get the answers at a live session. So guys, I believe we are done with the questions which we have. If anyone else has a question, obviously comment box is the best place for you to right now ask the questions. If you still have a question and you have not received an answer and you're expecting someone to give it, come to my live tomorrow at 9 p.m. and I'll make sure that it gets answered. So with this, guys, thank you for watching and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.